and welcome to Next Week Today in St. Thomas-Elgin. I'm your host, Kate Burns-Gallagher. We're so pleased to be here at the Elgin Theatre Guild, the Princess Ave Playhouse, with Sweet Delilah as our backdrop. And today we have joining us Kaylin Arnott, the producer of Sweet Delilah, and also the technical director here at the Theatre Guild. Welcome to the show, Kaylin.
Hi, thanks for having me here.
So tell us a little bit about what attracts you to the theatre.
I think I want to say the biggest thing is the fact that I get to tell stories, and it could be comedies, it could be dramas, musicals, parodies of some sort, and it can be something either classic like an Agatha Christie show. We did Mousetrap a couple years ago, to something modern, Steel Magnolia. It is a couple of years ago that it was originally produced and written, but it's still something that a lot of actors and actresses that I've actually worked with still resonate with today. So it's just being able to tell stories.
Telling our stories, that's such a great way of putting it, on the stage, no less.
Yes.
Yeah. So what's your experience and what brought you to the Elgin Theatre Guild?
So I've actually been a part of the Theatre Guild since 2000. I was 13 years old when I first started here. One of my girlfriends, she was doing the Christmas show, told me, come on out and audition. I didn't get in, but I actually got to start working backstage. So I was started with hair and makeup, and it just stuck with me ever since. I've done pretty much every job position in theater, from, like I said, starting with hair and makeup. I've done assistant stage managing. This is actually the first time I've been able to do producing. I've directed a couple shows here as well, and my key area is stage managing, but actually with the lighting with this show as well is what I designed as well.
Incredible. And all of that comes as a volunteer?
It does come as a volunteer, yes.
Incredible. And so the whole theater is run by volunteers?
It is. So we do have a board of probably about 8 or 9 people, the different areas, but within each, so we have our box office, we have our membership volunteers who actually, she keeps track of those who are volunteering for the bar up front of house, so the ones who are greeting you, giving you your programs. Myself, as you said, I'm the technical director, so that covers a couple of different areas. So costumes, lights, sound, building the sets, painting the sets, and basically we send out the call and say, we need help building, or we need help painting, sewing, just whatever what you think you can do, come on out. Incredible.
Now, without volunteers, the theater, the productions would not happen. So what kind of roles is the Theatre Guild looking for to fill right now?
So right now, I would say if somebody knows how to use a hammer, use a screwdriver, we definitely need those who know how to do set builds. And set building is a little different from building a house, or basically along those, actually yes, different from building a house, because you don't have to do the same specs. But if you're even willing to learn how to do that, or if you know how to basically dip a paintbrush and paint the walls, that will help. We did a show where the entire set looked like a balcony, 2 apartment balconies, and it was an entirely brick wall. We painted the reds on the walls, and then we had a line painting party. 6 of us were out here painting the grout lines. And if they hadn't come out to do that, it probably would have taken me close to 3 days to get all the grout lines done.
Incredible, incredible. So people can come to volunteer with the Guild either with experience, or if they were somebody like you at 13 wanting to get some experience.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like, we've had a couple of people who they see the posting, realize there's a theater here, and they're like, we don't have anything, like we don't have any experience, that is perfectly fine. We can pair you up with somebody who does have experience. We're actually encouraging high school students, because they can get their volunteer hours through us. As long as they're working backstage on the show, so it could be working with the props, running sound, lights, anything like that. If they're working backstage, they can accumulate almost 40 hours of their volunteer work just in one show.
Incredible. So they'd be done for their whole high school
Exactly.
career.
Yeah.
Great. So for those high school students or anybody else looking to volunteer, how can they find out more information?
Well, they can always look on, we have Instagram, we have Facebook, so just simply look up Elgin Theatre Guild, as well as reach out to us by email at elgintheatreguild@gmail.com, and just simply state they're inquiring about volunteering. We can reply somebody, we'll pair them up with somebody who will help them, welcome them as well.
Great. Well, thanks so much for being on the show, Kaylin, and thanks for hosting us yet again here.
Oh, we're always happy to have you guys come by.
Great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
We'll be right back on Next Week Today in St. Thomas-Elgin.
Hi, I'm Dawn Tucker from Align Yoga and Pilates Studio. Join me this fall on Rogers TV for Align Yoga, a chair yoga practice designed for all body types.
My name is Marissa Modeski. I'm Western University's registrar and really excited to welcome future Mustangs to our March 23rd Spring Open House. We invite all students to come to campus that day with family and friends, and the schedule is really designed so that you can choose your own adventure. It's a great opportunity to experience the campus, to meet with our professors, current students, your future classmates, and staff. And we'll be offering tours of our recreation center, library. We have campus walking tours, and we have campus bus tours. And we also really encourage our students to tour their future home away from home.
And welcome back to Next Week Today in St. Thomas-Elgin. We're now joined by William Van Rays of Inclusive Communities, who was a finalist on the Pitch 2024. Welcome to the show, William.
Thank you.
So tell us a little bit about what you pitched to the Pitch.
Well, it's going back. I've been in this room when we did the pitch. Brings back a lot of memories from that, which was pretty recent. But what I was pitching to them was basically what we do is we're an organization that supports adults and youth with intellectual disabilities. So what I was pitching were the needs of what we see moving forward to be able to support more families. So I was looking at the needs that we have and using that in my pitch for them.
Incredible. So what is Inclusive Communities? You kind of touched on it a little bit there, but what do you do?
So we're an organization, again, that supports adults and youth with intellectual disabilities. I used to work I've worked in the field for about 10 years. I used to work for ministry-funded agencies, and I saw that there was such a great need, not only for adults, but especially for youth. Once I opened Inclusive Communities, I could see the huge need. So that's a quick answer, a short answer of what we do. We provide a number of supports from day programs, one-on-one support, youth programs. The biggest one is the overnight respite. There's very limited options, and we're actually the only overnight respite provider for adults or youth with intellectual disabilities in Elgin County.
That's incredible. Yeah. And what types of intellectual disabilities do you encounter in your work?
So there's a number of diagnoses. We actually we do things a little different. We don't focus specifically on the diagnosis because I find it works much better if we focus on the individual needs. So there are diagnoses that people have like global developmental delay or intellectual disability sometimes is a diagnosis, or Down syndrome or autism, or FASD. We are seeing more youth that have an FASD diagnosis come through, so fetal alcohol spectrum disorder. But there's such a wide range of diagnoses that it's part of the reason why we don't focus on the diagnosis. We focus on the individual needs of that person. Sometimes knowing a diagnosis will help us because it might change our approach, but we really focus on the needs.
Right, so you're focusing on the person because the diagnosis can be different from one person to the next, so really focusing on the individual. What kind of supports do you offer for each individual?
Again, that's really unique to each individual person, depending on what service people are accessing. So our day program, for example, we'll try to teach life skills. We try to teach people as many life skills as we can to help them with independence. Now that looks different for everybody. So someone's life skills could be finding employment, living more independently, being able to cook, being able to take public transportation, where someone else it might be just going over and being able to get their food and their lunch, or learning how to communicate in different ways, because there are people we support that are nonverbal. So that looks different for everybody. But the other area is providing respite for families. So providing a break. Sometimes it's about teaching life skills and teaching social skills, but other times it's just providing a respite relief for families that are taking care of a loved one 24/7.
Right, so that respite is huge, and you said you're the only one in Elgin County providing relief for those caregivers.
The overnight portion, yes.
Yeah, and the day programs also provide some relief.
The day program, the one-to-one respite, the one-to-one support, the youth respite that we do. The biggest area that we focus, or the biggest difference, I guess, between us and some other organizations is we don't run on a 9-to-5 schedule. Mm-hmm. We really don't even have a schedule. We base it on, again, individual needs. So some days we're at work at 7:30 because that's when people have to come in. Other days it might be 9:30. Some days it could be 6:30 in the morning. It's really based on what families need.
Right. Now, do people need a referral to you, or can they reach out directly?
They can reach out directly.
Great. And how do they do that?
They can usually either just email me or call me directly. The number that I post on the website is my direct number, so I like to be able to talk with families and walk them through the whole process. Sometimes that's even helping them figure out where they can get access to funding to pay for supports. Mm-hmm. But I walk them through the entire process and try to make it as easy and smooth as possible, because I know how difficult it is to find supports. So once they find it, they want it to be as smooth as possible.
Well, that's wonderful, a full spectrum of care there.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for being on the show, William, and congratulations on being a finalist as well.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you. We'll be right back on Next Week Today in St. Thomas-Elgin.
I've been a volunteer with Rogers TV for 5.5 years. I was about 14 years old, and I already knew that I wanted to be in TV, and my mom went searching online, and she found Rogers TV and said, "Are you sure this is what you want to do?" And I said, "Absolutely," and we submitted an application that night. I've learned a lot about community and growth and just kind of just being an all-arounder. I like doing a lot of different positions like camera and audio and graphics, and having that variety and connecting with peers alike. It's not a complete commitment. You can kind of do a couple shifts a month and just do things that actually interest you, productions that actually interest you. I'd just say go for it. You only live once, and if it's something you're definitely considering, why not?
Our family used to be so fun. Now my brother takes care of me. I miss Mom and Dad being around more. Mom says things are going to get better.
Welcome back to Next Week Today in St. Thomas-Elgin. We are now joined by Chris Brown of St. Thomas Psychoeducational Assessments. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Congratulations on being a finalist on the pitch. Tell us a little bit about what you went to the pitch with.
So what I was first trying to tell people about was just that we exist, right? That we have the opportunity to, like if somebody's looking for a psychoeducational assessment, there's a place in town that they can go. But also we were really looking to let people know that we're trying to expand the services that we offer so that people will know that we have various courses that they can sign either themselves or their kids up for. So like if there's difficulties with self-regulation, or if there's a need for social skills or study skills courses, those are things that we now offer, and we want to make sure people know about that.
So you touched on it a little bit, but what are psychoeducational assessments?
Yeah, so a psychoeducational assessment is a series of tests that we do to try and determine if somebody meets criteria for what's called a neurodevelopmental disorder, which sounds like it's really complicated, but they're pretty common. So things like learning disorders, ADHD, autism, so those are things that we test for so that people will know if their child meets the criteria for one of those diagnoses, and we then help them know what they can do to help support their child.
Incredible. So are people referred to you through the education system, or do they reach out on their own? How do they find their way to you?
So there's lots of paths to us. Most people reach out to us themselves. They're usually either referred by their doctor or by somebody at the school or a friend who's already been to see us. They know that we exist, and so when they know that somebody else's child is struggling, they let them know about us, and then they reach out and we help them as soon as we can.
Incredible. And so what are some of those early signs that people could look out for?
There's lots of them. So some of the things that usually lead parents to us is that their child is struggling academically, like they're not performing in school as well as they thought or they think they should, or there's struggles with friendships, like where maybe they're really quick at making friends but they can't hold on to the friends, or maybe they're just having trouble sitting still, constantly on the move. Like there's so many different things that can lead people to say, I wonder if there's something going on with my child.
Mm-hmm. So if the child then receives a diagnosis, what does your organization do to help?
So mostly we help connect them to other resources. So sometimes it's telling the school, this is what's going on with the child, and here are some strategies that you can use at the school to help the child be more successful. Sometimes we are connecting them to other organizations, helping them apply for funding if they meet criteria for things like the disability tax credit through the federal government. So there's lots of different things that we can do. It really just depends on what the actual issues are and what supports they need.
That's great. So, because there's just so much information out there, being able to have somebody to help you navigate that information is huge.
Absolutely. And not all of the information that's out there is accurate. There are many people who come to us because they've been watching TikToks about, if you have this symptom, that means you must have ADHD.
Yeah.
And a lot of those, unfortunately, are not accurate. And so, but it still leads people to call us and say, is this something that I should be worried about? And if it is, we let them know that that's something that we can test for. And if not, then we let them know that it probably isn't something they need to worry about.
Incredible. So if people are looking to reach out and get a hold of you and look at those assessments, how do they find you?
Probably the best way is to either call our office or to look on our website. So we're at edpsych.ca, and we do offer free consultations. So all you need to do is sign up for one of the free consultation spots, and I'll have a 30-minute conversation with you about your concerns and let you know if I think an assessment or one of our classes makes sense for you.
Incredible. Well, thanks so much for being on the show, Chris.
Thank you.
And congratulations on being a finalist in the pitch.
All right, thanks so much.
We'll be right back on Next Week Today in St. Thomas-Elgin.
March 28th on Sportsnet. The wait is finally over.
Here we go.
The Blue Jays are back.
It's go time.
Batter up.
We're back at it.
It's gone.
Toronto touches down in Tampa for the season opener.
That's the way to get the party started.
It's the best time of the year.
The boys of summer are ready. Are you?
Home run for Bo Bichette. Folks, you're going to love watching this guy play all year long.
Blue Jays, Rays, March 28th on Sportsnet.
Espinosa. I am the multimedia reporter of Fansha Student Union, and I invite you to come to the Fansha Open House on March 23rd. You are going to learn a lot. You are going to see the program. You are going to see all the facilities, services. Are you not excited? Come on March 23rd. Fansha is waiting for you.
Welcome back to Next Week Today in St. Thomas-Elgin. We are now joined by Michaela Wilson, the Volunteer Recruitment and Engagement Coordinator of Big Brothers Big Sisters St. Thomas-Elgin. That's a whole lot of title.
It is. Yeah.
Tell us about your role with Big Sisters Big Brothers.
So as the Volunteer Recruitment and Engagement Coordinator, I seek to identify the bigs or the mentors in our community across St. Thomas and Elgin County. So I do their initial intake process. I find the program that is going to fit them best, as we have a variety of different program offerings at our agency, as well as I go into the community and I spread awareness about what we do and who we serve and why we are a great organization to support and volunteer with.
Wonderful. How long have you been with the organization?
I've been with Big Brothers Big Sisters since September, of 2023. So it's been a short time, but it's been a very impactful time. I love the work that I do, and I love our mentors and our community. So They've been really great.
Now, all of the bigs are volunteers.
Yes.
So big job when you're the volunteer recruitment coordinator. Yes. What are you looking for in a big?
So at the core of our work is something that we call developmental relationship framework. The pillars of this are expressing care, challenging growth, providing support, expanding possibilities, and sharing power. So we're looking for individuals who can work within that framework and kind of adapt with it as the relationship grows and evolves. And this can look like a lot of different things. So if you have good communication skills, if you're an honest person, if you're respectful, responsible, there's no like set qualification. You don't have to have a social work background or be a teacher or any of those job areas that entail working with children. You do not have to have that type of degree. You just have to have some experiences that you want to share with a young individual. And if you consider yourself a dynamic person as well, come on board.
And what's the current demand for bigs? How many bigs is the organization looking for right now?
So we have 50 kids on our wait list right now, and that number grows every single day. So we have a great need for bigs right now. Not only bigs, but also our in-school mentoring program. So this is an in-school relationship where you would meet with someone once a week for 1 hour. We have a great need for mentors in that program as well right now. It's another way to meet kids where they're at. So across the board, we need mentors.
No kidding. 50 kids and growing, that's
Yeah.
phenomenal. And what makes a good big? Who makes a good big?
Anybody. I know that's not a very detailed answer, but anybody has the power and potential to, you know, change the life of a young person. You just have to, you know, have experiences. That's really all that makes you qualified, is just being able to share experiences and have experiences to be able to pass on to someone else who is potentially struggling with, you know, growing up and moving through life. So yeah, anybody can.
So anybody who wants to help another person out is a great candidate.
Yeah.
Incredible. Now, what is the process to become a big?
Okay, so we do have a lengthy process, but it is a necessary process. And it is a one-time ordeal that allows you to take part in this incredible journey that makes it worth absolutely every step. Because child safety is the utmost importance to us, you will have to have a vulnerable sector check done through your local police station. You will have to submit 3 references. We designate what kind of references we're looking for. You will do a get to know you session where we're going to learn a little bit more about you. And the last stage here is some pre-match training. So this sets expectations for the relationship and how to navigate some of those issues. So it's a very thorough process, but a very rewarding and fulfilling process when you do get to the end.
And truthfully, it doesn't sound like that too bad of an ordeal, to be honest. If people are looking to become a big and start the process in helping those youth in our community, how do they do it?
They can reach out to me at Big Brothers Big Sisters. We have our website. You can go on there and submit a volunteer application inquiry, or you can call me at our agency's number. Can I say the number?
Yeah, of course.
519-633-3830, extension 204 to reach me, and we can chat about figuring out what your program of interest would be.
Wonderful. Well, thanks so much for being on the show, Michaela, and we hope that this will bring some more bigs your way.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I greatly appreciate it.
Thank you. And that's a wrap on our show this week on Next Week Today in St. Thomas-Elgin. Thank you once again to the Elgin Theatre Guild and the Princess Ave Playhouse for hosting us, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Take care.
Connect with us by visiting our website or email us at comments@rogerstv.com.
March 28th on Sportsnet. The wait is finally over.
Here we go.
The Blue Jays are back.
It's go time.
Batter up.
We're back at it.
It's gone.
Toronto touches down in Tampa for the season opener.
That's the way to get the party started.
It's the best time of the year.
The boys of summer are ready. Are you?
Home run for Bo Bichette. Folks, you're going to love watching this guy play all year long.
Blue Jays, Rays, March 28th on Sportsnet.
Like most of Canada's film and media industries, Todd's studio is mostly straight and white. But by pledging to check their privilege, Todd's